Hi everyone, Andrew here for ABELI Reviews, and just as the title suggests, we are going to set up my build for my Cobra Mark III. So let's go ahead and go to our starport services. We are in our Cobra, so that's fantastic. We're going to go over here to outfitting, and we're going to set up the ship the way that I like to kind of set it up, and I do this pretty consistently with a lot of my ships. First things first, let's go ahead and get rid of any of these modules that we're not going to be using. We're going to change these to something different. We'll sell that module. And I think you can store these things too. I just sell them to keep things clean, but I have heard some people say don't sell stuff like that, but totally your preference. So first things first, I want to set the right gun to beam lasers, and we're going to go with a 2D gimbaled beam laser. I really like the gimbaled weapons. I'm not the best shot, so I think that's a great option. The other one is going to also be gimbaled, but this time we're going to go with the multi-cannons. We're going to go with a 2E, not fixed, sorry, a 2F. Yep, that's 2F multi-cannon, so that's also gimbaled. The turret would be kind of cool too, but we'll choose this one instead. Perfect, so now we have our left and right. I always like to start with the beam lasers, the right, so that makes sense there. And then from this end, let's go ahead and I'm probably going to put these on the wrong sides. I always sort of forget which one I'm looking at, but I'm pretty sure this will be on the left-hand side, which puts us in the multi-cannon spot. So same deal, multi-cannon. We're going to choose our 1G, so we'll go ahead and set that. And then finally, we're going to choose the other one, which is our beam laser, and that is going to be the gimbaled E, like that here. Perfect. So now we have our hard points taken care of. Let's go to our utility mounts. I'm a huge fan of stuff that just works and you don't have to do anything about it. So we're going to choose our shield booster, our OA, perfect. Shield booster again. Although, you know, you could go with the point defense turret. That's also a really solid option. Or if you really want to get deep into the bounty hunting, kill warrant scanners. Kill warrant scanners are essential if you're trying to make that additional money. It's definitely something I probably should put on this ship, but I'm going to stick with shield boosters for now because we're not as concerned with the monies. But I would definitely recommend that as an alternative option. Okay, core internals. So this is always kind of a point of contention for me because I think you can go many different options. I guess we won't be able to do much here because this is just sitting there, swap, stored, whatever. We're going to replace. I'm a pretty big fan of the reactive surface composite. This does sort of mean your ship has resistance to like that kinetic and that explosive, but your thermal resistance is a little bit lower, so keep that in mind. You might find the mirrored to also be a great option, and this is kind of one of those things where it depends what you're going to put your money and time into. Gives that hull boost, same deal, 250, but instead kinetic goes down and explosive goes down, but your thermal resistance goes up. Think about it like beams versus guns and such. I'm seeing a lot of more kinetic options, so we're going to stick with this, but just sort of make your best choice. They're both really cool options. We'll choose reactive for now. In terms of jump space, not a real big difference there. Okay, so let's see if it lets us sell our current, which is for 0, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Perfect. Now we need to go to our power plant, and we're going to replace that with the 4A power plant. We'll go ahead and turn that on as well. Thrusters, you guessed it, 4A. Frame shift drive, this is where it's getting fun. We want that 4A SCO right there, SCO. So that's super awesome. Get those boosts and all the good stuff that comes with it. Life support, we're going to keep life support at 3E. So this buys us 5 minutes of time. Keep that in mind. So if we were in here looking at a 3A, you're going to get 25 minutes. 3B, 15, 3C, 10. You can even get 3D at 7:30. Or like what we are going to go with, which is the 3A, that's 5 minutes. Once that clock starts, you're probably not making it back. And that's one of those things you accept. Power distribution, 3A all the way. Go ahead and select that. And then our sensors, I'm also a 3A kind of guy. I want that emission range and all the good stuff that comes with it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Fuel tank's capped. You can't really change that, so that's super solid. All right, now we're in our optionals, and this is where you can really kind of make this thing your own. For me, we're going to go ahead and we'll just sort of sell all of these extra pieces, again, just for cleanness of the space. All right. So first things first, at the tippity top, I want to put in a shield generator. So we're going to head down here, look for our shield generator. We are going to go with 4A. So we'll put that guy on. From there, we want to be able to withstand those kinetic hits. So we're going to go to hull reinforcements, and we're going to go ahead and choose the 4D. And then we also want to protect our modules. So let's go down here, look for module reinforcements, same deal, 4D. And now we, again, continue our little adventure. So this time we're going to choose our hull reinforcement again, but we're going to be the 2D. So we'll select that. And then, ooh, if you know, modules 2D as well. But then some of those really important pieces kind of come into place. First things first, we definitely want a fuel scoop. Now, if you get tired and don't want to waste your time, maybe bop that up to a higher level, but a 2A fuel scoop is fine for me. The rate isn't very quick, but I'm rarely in a hurry. We don't want to get stuck out there all by ourselves, so this is a fun ship for this. Next up, we want our Super Cruise Assist, and that is the 1E. It's already on there, and then we also want that advanced docking computer. I'm a fan. I'm always going to keep it. You're always going to see it there, and then, of course, planetary approach if you've got the expansion. This concludes the modules portion of our ship. Yep. So next, let's go ahead and go over to our power management. You can see here we are over the limit for a few things. So from my end, I'm always going to kind of make those sort of silly choices. There's definitely some smart stuff we can do, and I'll probably do that later. For our purposes, though, we're just going to go down the list. Actually, I'll bounce around a little bit. I want my cargo hatch in the 4th slot. I want my multi-cannons in the 3rd slot. I want my beam lasers in the 3rd slot as well. Power distributor can stay. Frame shift drive can stay. Advanced docking. I'm thinking we're going to put our advanced docking also in the 4th slot. Let's kind of go from the top again. Shield generator. Shield booster. Shield booster for me, and where I like to put stuff like that, I will typically say the shield booster should be in the 2 category, because I actually want it to work while I'm trying to escape. Beam laser is a 3, it's a weapon. Sensors is a 1, multi-cannon, cargo hatch is a 4, beam laser, power distributor, frame shift drive, all that good stuff. Frame shift drive, docking computer, we don't need that when we don't need it. Life support, I'm going to put that as a 1, that's important to me. Fuel scoop can be a 4, multi-cannon is a weapon, so it's a 3, super cruise assist is a 4, cockpit canopy doesn't get to choose. Perfect, so everything should be right as rain for us. Let's go ahead and leave this, and let's auto launch out and test out all of the placements of our pieces and everything else. So far, I'm pretty happy with the way this ship is looking. I do want to make sure both of my multi-cannons are going to be in the same group, so we actually should do that as well. Sorry about that. Fire groups. I want my beam lasers on 1, and I want my multi-cannons on 2. That's kind of like my core piece. The rest of this stuff we'll touch on later. All right. Once we get out of here, we'll test out and make sure I put my cannons and all my good stuff in the right spot. Sometimes I've been known to confuse the locations, and I'll have one beam laser on one side of the ship and another on the other, instead of them both being on the same side. Oh, it looks like we are waiting for somebody. You know, I'm a little impatient, and typically I would kind of just boost through here. My luck, I'm confident the second we do that, we'll crash into somebody, so we'll just let the auto dive keep doing its thing, and I'll keep chatting your ear off. Ooh, those are cool. Overall, though, I kind of consider this my very small exploration ship, really mainly for my local space, but lets me get some fun with the combat. But I still have a fuel scoop, so I can do a little bit of exploring, but this ship is primarily focused on player versus environment. And that's fun for me. That's where I kind of get the most of my fun when I'm playing Elite Dangerous. So if that's something that you get as well, I think that's totally worth doing. All right, let's pull these out. So power plant capacity is exceeded. Let's just confirm what has been exceeded, and it should be everything in the 4 category. Cargo hatch, you know it. Advanced docking computer, fuel scoop, just our 4. Yep, everything else should be just fine. So that's exactly what we want. Everything is behaving as it should. Now, you could kind of do some different stuff if you're not worried about the cargo hatch, all that jazz. I also think we could space things out and really get to that halfway point. You always really want your thrusters to work, but we'll come back to that stuff. Let's boost out of here, and let's make sure beam lasers are on the same side, multi-cannons are on the same side. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. I like that consistency. And that overall kind of completes our ship build. Let's pop out and take a peek. Look at you. Got that stock blue. I think that looks really sharp. We can even see we've got our our multi-cannon here, our beam laser there. Then below, we'll probably have our shield boosters, all of those good things. Yeah, this is a good looking ship. I really think this is probably one of my favorite ships. This is the ship that I've had when I was first playing Elite Dangerous. I had it probably the longest. It was kind of my workhorse before I continued to kind of grow and get other types of weapons and other types of ships and did other parts of the game. I think the Cobra is just a fantastic ship. So yeah, hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration. If you do something different, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you've got some suggestions, that's always really helpful. I have made improvements to my ship builds based on the comments people have shared. So if you have some, please drop us a line. Otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.